no other job lined up and I need money to pay bills. And people were so mad at me for making this decision. It's crazy the amount of people that were angry versus the amount of people that were saying, yes, you got this, keep going. The amount of people that are okay with this or that were encouraging me, it's a lot more. And I totally get it, because on the outside or from the outside, it can seem very irresponsible. But when you have the resources and your job is messing with your mental health, you can just stop and say, I'm not going to deal with you. And I have the resources and the money to be able to just get out. And that's exactly what I did. But even some people that have the money and the resources to be able to just take a leap of faith and get out of their comfort zone, they won't do it. So for the first time in my life, I'm living in discomfort every single day because I'm doing something completely out of the norm for me. But I cannot wait to keep pushing myself through the fear and the discomfort and see what's going to be out there on the other side. Just wait.
I seriously question when someone says, oh, I have all the resources to do this project or whatever it is. I guess she wants to quit her job. She can get in line with a whole bunch of other TikTokers, people who are just too stressed out to hold a 9-to-5 job. I really question when someone says, oh, I have all the resources to do this, but at the same time says there's going to be discomfort. Now, we could say that there will be some discomfort regardless of what your resources are. There's always a sense of discomfort in change, one city to another, one job to another, okay, even one partner to another. There's always going to be some level of, the unknown, the unexpected. So I can respect her using the term discomfort in that way. But here's why I question whether or not she really has the resources. People who truly have the resources don't need the approval of other people to do something. In other words, people who have the resources to quit their job, go through, we'll use her words, quote, a level of discomfort, and to shift their life around, the last thing they're probably going to do is make a TikTok about it. Why? Because they don't care about the likes, the shares, oh, gee, thumbs up, I'm approving of your decision of what you want to do. Now, granted, TikTok, YouTube didn't exist like it does today, 20 years ago when I started teaching in 2006. I mean, I think YouTube was kind of getting on the cusp. TikTok, we hadn't even heard of, at least not for me. So I would think about when I went from insurance to becoming a school teacher. I didn't need, and again, I understand social media didn't exist like it did today, but either way, I didn't need to go to a ton of people and much less strangers and say, hey, I want to switch from insurance to becoming a teacher. I'm aware there's a level of discomfort. I have the resources. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Why did I not need to go to a whole bunch of people, which I did not? Really simple, because I knew what talent, skills, what resources I had available to me. And I knew where I really, really wanted to go. No one was going to change my mind regardless. And so I just simply did it. I didn't need nor want the approval of others. When a lot of these people go on TikTok, and this gal is one example, and says things like, people encouraged me to do it, but I'm surprised that some people did not. Why should she be surprised that not everyone said, yay, power to the people, quit your job? Because a lot of people understand the risks of quitting your job. And guys, here's the problem. There's quitting your job with what I call very well calculated and planned risk. And then there's just, you know what? I've been here for a week. They asked me to move some boxes. My glutes hurt. I'm out of here. Or my brain hurts. I'm out of here. And I bet at the job for, all of 1-2 days. We hear this. And here's the thing you have to remember. You're going to get plenty of support on social media. You really will. Yeah, you got to work your way through the naysayers and, look down on your adventure plan. But you're going to get plenty of people say, go for it. But you got to remember something. They're not the ones paying your bill. I can tell you, go for it. I can say, quit your job right now. I can tell you, retire at 52 when you should really retire at 65. Okay. I can say, oh, no problem. That job sucks. You're right. That boss is horrible. Quit now. But I don't have to live with the consequences of my thumbs up. Yay. Okay, telling you that I support you. And it's easy to get a community of people on TikTok, and we know it certainly is easy to get it on the beggars, right? It's easy to get a community of people on social media to give you everything you want to hear. That's easy. They don't pay the price for the consequences of your actions and your decisions. So it's just something to think about. And guys, we got to get off this track of everything is about mental health. This job is hurting my mental health. There is no job on this planet that will not hurt your mental health in some way. You need to learn to manage your mental health with the demands of your job. If the job is not a personality match, that's one thing. But when people sit and they go, oh, this job is just horrible for my mental health. Again, I've worked through a lot of mental health issues. Guess what? I held a job while I did it. I re-navigated my life while I did it. And I did not put myself into financial stress. I like having money more than I don't like it. I love having a retirement account more than I don't like it.
Waiting for me.
Spiritually awakened people are not meant to work a 9 to 5. I used to be part of the matrix. I thought that this is it. I wanted to climb to the top and get the title, the money, all of that. And when you reach it and it's empty, is this really what life is? I was a project manager at a media agency and I had a team. I loved my job. I liked my team. And once I had an awakening, everything changed. When you're sitting in corporate meetings and in the 3D reality consciousness, it's like you just can't. And then it's like you just see through everything. I left corporate 3 years ago and it has been the best decision I've ever made. Ladies, we are not meant to work like that. You are not meant to be stressed out and spread thin. You deserve to be taken care of.
A lot of you young people need to stop listening to TikTokers that sit there and I should say lying down. Okay, and they're all in their sweats. I guess it's because they don't have a job to go to, right? You need to stop listening, young people. The TikTokers that sit and tell you you're not meant to be stressed. You're meant to have a perfect life of Zen. Everything should be spiritually aligned. Stop working for the colonization. Stop working for the matrix. You guys need to put that crap out of your mind, because if you listen to that, it will hold you back. Not if, it will. And again, just like I said, all these people that are telling you you shouldn't be working this hard. This is not the Zen life you were born into. And we've pretty much have heard that. Again, they're not paying your bills. When you're short and you can't make the rent, you can't make the car payment, you don't have enough food to eat because you listen to them and you said, hey, you know what? You're right. This job is just working me too darn hard. I wasn't meant to do this, so I'm going to go and join everybody else on TikTok. You will be just as broke ass as they are, and they are not going to help you. We need to stop looking at terms that make us appear as though we are victims. Okay, terms like, oh, I'm out of the matrix. Well, what exactly is the matrix? The matrix is where you have a job, a skill, a career, you build it. Okay, maybe you can raise a family on it, adopt a child on it. Okay, you eventually are able to have a life of work balance with home balance. But people got to understand, this stuff takes time. You may have a time in your career, and guess what, young people? It could last many years. It could last a decade or more, where you're going to worky. That's what you're going to do. And that's why it's always a kick to me when the young people say they're not going to work any harder than they have to. Those are the people, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. They're the people who are going to be working for forever. You're going to have a time and a season in your life where that is going to be what you have to do to get yourself where you want to go. But let's get these victimization terms out, okay? Matrix, colonization, the 9 to 5, get it out of our vocabulary.
I quit my high-paying corporate job
Of course you did.
6 months ago. Am I happier? Yes. Am I broke? Yes. I've been describing to people that I feel a lot less mentally burnt out, but I'm feeling very physically burnt out. I've been working front desk at 2 different studios that teach Pilates, and I'm also getting my Pilates certification. The days are very physically demanding, and I'm getting up at 5 in the morning and also doing the customer service things, talking to people all day, which I love. But by the time I get home, don't ask anything of me. In corporate, I was mentally miserable and going through gymnastics every day, trying to justify why I was there, and also dealing with difficult people all the time. Honestly, more difficult than customer service, to be honest. But what I will say is a huge stressor is money. Not having as much money as I used to have, stressing about money, it's an additional new stress. Also, talking to my friends that still work in corporate jobs, our lives are so different, and you can kind of feel that divide between us, especially when they're going on nice vacations and buying nice things, and I'm not me.
And as she gets older, if the toughest job she believes she can handle is customer service, answering phones and doing her Pilates side gig because she has no career, as she gets older and she watches her friends, they're going to not just be able to go on trips that she can't go on, they're going to eventually be able to retire. They're eventually going to be able to slow down. It is okay to slow down. Eventually, I would like to slow down. Okay. I want to always be working because I can't just handle staying at home all day. And of course, I'll be keeping my YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is short of me going to heaven. This YouTube channel is not going anywhere. Oh, by the way, if 3 months ever goes by and nothing is posted on this YouTube channel, somebody needs to go check the obituaries. And I am dead serious. 3 months. I could say 2, but I'll say 3 months. 3 months there ain't no activity on this channel. Okay, I'm relying on some of you. You need to start checking them obituaries. Okay, but that's the most she can handle is a hobby job and some customer service. Yeah, and as her friends get older and they become more established, there can start to become a bitterness. And even at this age, we know I have friends. We will be able to retire. We will absolutely. Okay, I'm in the last 10 years of teaching, and we have talked about it, and we know people who cannot retire. Now, this is not a goody thing or anything like that. But what it is it's a reality check. And I never wanted to be on the side that could not retire. And let us also not forget, young people, your 20s and your 30s are some of your best physical years. You can handle a longer, harder, more intense workload than you will ever be able to handle in your, late 40s, 50s, and certainly your 60s. So you're wasting it sitting around in sweats going, I refuse to work. This is just my opinion.
I'm also getting slightly disillusioned with the Pilates world. I still love Pilates and I still really want to help people with chronic pain. But when you walk away from corporate, you realize that every job has its drawbacks, and it's what are you willing to compromise on?
And she didn't know that before she quit. I'm telling you, a lot of these young people, again, we're talking about the TikTokers. That is all I'm referring to. Okay. The TikTokers that I see, they're not quitting their jobs because they want to strive to work harder. They're quitting their jobs because they want to work less. But the problem is the working less is severely working less. She thought, bouncing around a Pilates studio was easier. And all of a sudden she goes, well, this isn't working either. Nothing is going to work. If you are looking to avoid stress, avoid some sort of mental health issue, nothing out there. And even you, short of you sitting on a cloud, blessed by the angels, you're going to get bored of that. And you're going to say that's stressful too.